Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy Arnami and I'm back with yet another video. And today we're talking about why you need to relapse on semen retention. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, bro, I know y'all read the title talking about why you need to relapse on semen retention. Let me start off by saying this. You gotta do your best not to relapse. You gotta do your best not to go in there and goon on yourself. Now, when you going on the street, I'm not saying that you can't ever bust a nut, but if you going on a long street, eventually, like, for most men that's doing this practice, you gonna bust a nut eventually, man. You gonna want to release eventually. It's just the natural part of the process for a lot of us men. Now, some men have gone on streets where they haven't busted for 4 years. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about the men that, you know what I'm saying, going 60-day streets, you know what I'm saying, then busting nut, 70-day streets, and then busting nut. Every time that you relapse, bro, you learn something new about yourself. Every time that you relapse, you learn that, okay, I don't need to be sitting inside with my hands on my balls watching TV or something like that. I need to put that energy towards something else. Every time that you fall back, what? Slow down. Every time that you fall off the horse, you got to realize why the fuck you fell off the horse. Every time you miss a shot, sometimes you got to wonder, like, okay, I need to know what I did wrong in order for me to make that shot the next time. And that's what you need to do on semen retention, bro. You need to realize what you did in that certain instance in order for you to relapse, so therefore you don't do it again. That's all it is, bro. It's just messing up, falling down, and getting right back up and keep going, bro. That's the only thing you can do. You need to relapse on semen retention. Now, I'm not saying that you should consciously do it, but a lot of dudes, when they relapse, they beat themselves up about it. They berate themselves. They just, you know what I'm saying, just being so hard on yourself, bro. So, like, when you relapse, you got to realize that, okay, you got to realize that, bro, like, it's not the end of the world. You're not going to lose all of your benefits, bro. It's mostly all in your head. Now, you're going to have a slight dip in energy. You're going to, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have a little bit of you're going to be a little sluggish. You're going to be a little bit slower, but, like, it's not a definite, like, you know what I mean? It's not like setting you back all the way to day zero, you know what I'm saying, with your benefits and how much progress that you made thus far. If you going on a car trip and your car break down in the middle of the destination, that doesn't mean that you go all the way back to where you started at. You still at where you started at. You just stop for a little bit and you're going to need to hit the gas a little bit in order to keep going, bro. Learn from each relapse. Learn from each mistake. And this goes into life, bro. You got to learn from each rejection. You got to learn from each mistake that you make. If you keep fucking up and doing the same shit, bro, you're going to keep making that same mistake and you're going to keep falling back into that same pattern. See, when you relapse on retention, I know there's this thing to when you relapse, you want to keep indulging in that behavior. If you bust a nut, you're going to want to bust another nut, you know what I'm saying, later on. You're going to want to watch porn later on. I'm just be careful with that P word. You're going to want to watch those dirty websites later on. And once you indulge in that, like keep indulging in that behavior, that's when you start backtracking. That's when you start really, truly losing your progress, bro. But when you release your seed, you're not really losing too much progress, bro. I'm not saying that y'all shouldn't do it. I'm not saying that y'all should do it, but I'm just saying, like, you shouldn't beat yourself up over it, bro. You shouldn't think of a relapse as that, like, it's just the end of the world. A lot of dudes, and I mean a lot of dudes that, like, have just started this practice, they look at a relapse as something that's just like, it's the end of the world. Like, you know what I mean? They just feel so heavy, bro. Like, that's the only thing you got to do. When you get rejected by a woman that you find attractive, you can't sit there and think that it's the end of the world, that you know what I'm saying, like, you can't, you got to fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Keep shooting, bro. That's the only thing you got to do. You got to keep shooting, you know what I'm saying? It's all a part of the game of life, dog. You just got to keep going. That's all masculinity is, like, just taking action and just keep it pushing, bro. Stand on business and keep doing what you got to do, bro. I know it's hard. But you just got to keep shooting, keep going, bro. Get right back the fuck up, dust yourself off, and keep marching forward, bro. Why you need to relapse on semen retention? You need to realize that a relapse is not a setback, bro. A relapse is not a setback. You might have a slight hindrance in your progress, bro, but, like, you're not going all the way back to zero. You're not starting all the way back to before you started this practice, bro. You're making progress. Keep going, bro. Don't beat yourself up over it, bro. Just get back on defense. And once you get the ball on offense again, just learn from what you did last time. I'm not telling y'all that y'all should just release all willy-nilly, but, like, don't beat yourself up over each loss, bro. I don't know about y'all, but I learned something about myself every time that I did release. Every loss that you take, it's not a loss if you gain something. A loss is not a loss if you learn something. A loss is not a loss if you learn how to do something better. If you're afraid of failure, then you're afraid of success. Because with failure is going to happen. Failure is going to happen whether you like it or not. In the pursuit of success, there are going to be many times where you fail. There are going to be many times where you miss your shot. There are going to be many times where you're wondering what the fuck you're going to do. But the ones that separate the successful from the failures, that the successful people keep going. They keep chipping away at it. So yeah, when you relapse, man, you either keep indulging that behavior, keep beating yourself up over it, or be kind to yourself and keep going. Because only one of those outcomes will dictate your future. Only one of those outcomes is better for you. And it's all up to you. It's all about how you want to do it, bro. Like, literally, God gave us free will. It's about what you want to do with it, bro. He told us you either choose life or you can choose death. You can choose good or you can choose bad. I'm not saying it's easy to choose good all the time, goodness knows, but we got a choice nonetheless. You can look at the glass half empty or the glass half full. For example, I had to pay some taxes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga had to pay some taxes, and that was a pretty hefty amount. And I'm thinking like, okay. At first, like, I was kind of like, I felt some type of way because it's like, damn, like, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to pay that much. Uncle Sam trying to get my bread. But then I thought about it, and I was like, man, Uncle Sam wouldn't be trying to get this much money out of me if I hadn't increased my finances and how much I made from the year prior. That just means that I'm getting better, you know what I'm saying? That just means I'm valuable. If Uncle Sam wants to tax me more just based off of how I work and how I move, then that's an upward trajectory. That just speaks volumes about how valuable I am. It's all about the way that you look at it, bro. Even if you lose your job, bro, you can look at it like, I bet it's another way for me to look at another career opportunity. It gives me more time to pour into myself, to spend on my business, to spend developing myself and developing another area of my life. So therefore, when I do hop in that job that I do want, I'll be better equipped to handle difficult situations. It's all about the way that you look at it, bro. You need to relapse on semen retention. You need to relapse on semen retention. Now, I'm not saying go ahead busting up right here. I'm just saying hold on to that seed, but don't fixate on the relapse so much, bro. Like, it's not the end all be all. It's not the end of the world, bro. Because there's going to be times where you fail in your life. And I mean, you're going to fail. Like, you're going to make an ass of yourself. You're going to fuck up. And the world may be hard on you. And if the world is already hard on you, you don't need to be hard on yourself. You are your own biggest supporter. You your biggest fan. You should be your own biggest fan. Be kind to yourself, bro. Keep going. Hold on to your seed. Stop indulging in those dirty websites. When you relapse, learn not to sit on the couch with your hands on your balls. Learn to get up. Clean your room. If you got something you need to do, go ahead and do it. Work out. Meditation. You cannot. Now, I did a whole separate video about meditation and semen retention, but like, man, like, even if you really don't do nothing with semen retention and you meditate each day, it'll be a lot harder for you to relapse, bro. And I guarantee you. And even the longer that you go on these days, you're going to have your days where you have pretty strong urges. Let's say you go on a 90-day streak. You're going to have some days where the urges are pretty bad, but in my experience, more or less when you go on these type of streets, like, right, when you go on these type of streets like that, it'll be harder to relapse because you just so focused on what you got to do. You need a plan, bro. Honestly, bro, you just need a purpose. You need a plan. You need some direction. You can have all the energy. You could go on a 90-day streak, but if you ain't got a plan towards that, then you just, you know what I mean? That might be a topic for another video, bro, but you just need a plan with what you got to do, bro. You can have you can gas up your car, but if you ain't got no direction, you just going to be lost about where you want to go. You could go on a 90-day streak, but then if you ain't got nothing to work towards, if you don't got something that you're working on and couple with that practice, bro, it might as well be in vain, bro. You need to relapse on semen retention. Realize that when you fail, it's just another learning opportunity. I'm not saying that you should bust a nut right now, like, you know, so I'm not saying that at all. But realize that if you do in the future, which is probably most likely inevitable, then you don't need to beat yourself up about it. You need to get right back on that horse and keep riding. Pause. So if y'all like that video, like, comment, subscribe down below. Tap that bell notification. I love each and every one of y'all. Keep letting y'all light shine. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace. This shit, now I'm back on my shit, now I'm raising the bar like a Klondike. I be rapping this shit while I'm stacking the chips, boy. been through some shit, had to climb heights. I've been going too hard, got my mind right. In the dark, but I still had to shine bright.